Good morning and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care, Santa Clarita Hearing Center, and Traditions Healthcare. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Gene Dorio, who is at the moment probably with patients. He'll be on soon. Anyway, we're on our hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And our first guests this morning are Patti Robertson, who is a faculty director involved in community engagement, and Jessica Edmund, who is an ESL instructor. Welcome to both of you. And what are we talking about today?
Well, Barbara, thank you very much for having us today. We are very excited to be here. Jessica and I will be speaking first, and we have some other folks of our team that are going to be coming in after us. But we're talking about the PLACE project that's going on at College of the Canyons. The acronym stands for Partnerships in Listening and Action for Communities and Educators. And this particular project is actually a multi-year project that is being funded by the Mellon Foundation. We are one community college, actually the only community college involved in this nationwide project that is involving several universities from the area in Greensboro, North Carolina, Rutgers Newark, yes. Also University of Baltimore, University of Maryland at Baltimore County, and then also the Southern California group, which is comprised of USC, UCLA, and also Pitzer College. So in this nationwide collaboratory, we are the only community college, and the grant was authored by Dr. David Scobie, who was formerly at the University of Michigan, but now is the director of Bringing Theory to Practice located in Elon University in North Carolina.
North Carolina has lots of colleges and universities. I know that. I used to live there. Yes. And my first husband went to NC State College. Mm-hmm. So, well, it's nice to have you. And?
Hi, thank you for having me. So my name is Jessica, and I've been working closely with Patti. We're co-leads on this project. It's very exciting. We're, I believe, beginning our second year of the project, and it's really taken off this semester. We have a great team of students from College of the Canyons. A couple of them are here today to talk to you. And so we're just really excited about bringing this project into the community. And we're addressing housing insecurity and affordability, specifically issues with college students, our senior community, and also our homeless community that is served by Bridge to Home.
And that community is growing and growing and growing.
Yes, and just to reiterate a little bit on what Jessica's saying, this project is different from any of the other colleges and universities that are part of this nationwide project. Each community project or college picked a topic that was most relevant to not only the community but also to their campus. And so we decided early on that we were very concerned about the issue dealing with homelessness, but more specifically broadening it to housing insecurity and affordability. And so in doing that, we were able to start to partner very early on with Bridge to Home, working very closely with Peggy Edwards, Susan Christopher of SCV Loves. We've got several other folks that we've been partnering with. We're reaching out right now to Single Mothers Outreach. And then we've been fortunate enough just recently to also have a partnership that we're going to start working with the Senior Center. And so Robin Clow has been very, very instrumental in that. We had that kind of on hold for a while because of the pandemic, but the Senior Center is starting to open up a little bit. And so we're not only looking at students and this topic, but we're also broadening out now to our older adult population, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we're hoping we can get some of your listeners to become involved in the project in something that I think they might be excited about.
Yes, some seniors, because many seniors are closed in so much of the time.
Yes.
For various reasons, sometimes health, sometimes being fearful of going out. especially since we've had this monstrous year that we've all survived. And I think that would be a good project, especially for seniors.
Well, one of the things that we're doing, and just to kind of give you a little bit of the background, we started out directly looking at issues of housing insecurity and affordability, and that was where we got connected with Bridge to Home. We're working with our bank on campus, so we're also certainly concerned about students and what's happening with them. And then as Jessica and I started the project, we started holding dialogues. And originally we were going to do this in person, but because of the pandemic, we ended up doing this virtually. And as a result of these dialogues or these conversations, and particularly with students and faculty, there was an issue that started popping up constantly: community, belonging, well-being. And so with that, we started to realize that there was something there that we also wanted to start to examine in more detail. And so while we still have the emphasis on housing insecurity and affordability, we've got this other kind of route that we're now taking. And so that's where, in doing these conversations, we're hoping that we can also really get a lot of our different age groups involved in the dialogues, and that's why we're here today to talk about how maybe some of the older adults would like to participate.
I think that's a great idea. I really do. So what caused you to get involved in this project? What got you started? What excited you?
Well, Jessica and I are part of our Civic Engagement Steering Committee on campus, and that particular group has been in existence for about 5 years. It's a new position. It's a new initiative on campus, really emphasizing civic learning and democratic engagement. And so there had been a history of some of the work that I had been doing with Bringing Theory to Practice. Bringing Theory to Practice is a national organization that is specifically related to civic engagement for higher education. It's the premier organization in the country. And so I had been lucky enough to get several grants with Bringing Theory to Practice, had gotten to know David Scobie a little bit, who is, again, the director. And when he was getting ready to write the Mellon grant, he reached out to us and asked if College of the Canyons would like to participate. And so we as a committee said yeah. And so
What an opportunity.
it has been an opportunity.
That is terrific.
Because, as I said, we are the only community college involved in this Mellon Foundation grant. And again, he is one of the most stellar scholars and practitioners in civic engagement in the country. So we were very, very excited that he reached out to us.
And you got involved?
Well, I've been working with Patti with civic engagement for a few years, and so as a steering committee, we made this decision together, and then once making the decision to participate with the grant and the national collaboratory, we were given the dilemma of what to focus our efforts on and what our project would be about. So there was a lot of talk, a lot of careful consideration about what we wanted to spend the next couple of years really giving a lot of our time to and energy, and we decided on housing insecurity. And actually the timing was quite perfect in a sad way, being that we made this decision before COVID, and of course the past year we would have never predicted that really our whole nation would be looking at these issues of housing insecurity and affordability, but especially our community. So many people have been out of work, businesses not being able to operate, and we're all facing these issues today. But we do have the most vulnerable members of our community that we are definitely most interested in hearing from and discovering how we can help. And this is definitely kind of a grassroots project. It's a bottom-up rather than top-down. So we're not looking to solve our community's issues through an academic lens. We're looking to come into the community and hear from them and find out what we can do to work together and to facilitate improving the situation.
Okay. And the other thing is you're bringing students here with you.
Yes.
And what is their involvement? Get yourself close there.
We have a student team. We have multiple students that are working with us on the project. And it's just been fantastic because they are not only bringing their expertise and their knowledge and their skill set, but their incredible creativity and sensitivity to this project. And part of what they've been able to do is to really cast a different kinds of lens on this particular project than, let's say, what Jessica and I are doing, again, as faculty members. So it really has been a really great collaboration between us and the students, and then also the community partners. And as Jessica was saying, the idea behind this grant is not to have a university or a college look at a community topic, study it, and then hand off the results and say, here's what you need to do. According to what David Scobie envisioned with this, is that we bring all people to the table. And you also bring this as a listening component where it's not only the faculty, but it's the students. You have community members all working together. So again, not one person or one organization has any isn't more powerful than the other. It is truly a collaborative effort.
That's terrific. That is terrific. So how do you foresee this project keeping on, continuing? Or is this a certain time period?
Well, the grand deliverables are due by the end of spring of next year. But we hope that this will continue on. That is the goal. This isn't a one and done kind of project. We hope we're laying the foundation to really have this be something that will continue on even after the funding ends. We've talked about different ways that might continue, but again, it's still in the talking stages. But we definitely hope this will continue.
Well, we have so many organizations out here who contribute to this community in so many ways, money-wise, volunteer-wise, plus the city of Santa Clarita is very, very project-minded and supporting projects in our community.
And we know that, and
Yes.
it's been a great the nonprofits here that we're working with, our community partners, have been fantastic. We also were able to get a homelessness innovation grant. So that's also related to the work that we're doing, and that came directly
Right.
from the city.
Yeah, and working with Peggy Edwards.
Yes.
I've known Peggy for years.
And
I'd say over 30 years.
And Diane Troutman,
Oh,
and just,
yes. Oh,
just
yeah.
wonderful people.
That's terrific. Well, we need to take a break, and then we'll have a couple of the students come in and get some feedback from them.
Actually, you're going to have our artists come in first, and
Okay.
then our students. And
Oh.
she's going to tell you a little bit about what we're hoping is to generate interest among the folks listening, to be part of an intergenerational conversation.
Yeah.
Terrific. Okay.
Thank you, Barbara.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
Celebrate the new year with the Canyon Theater Guild's new spring online youth workshops. Express yourself from the comfort of your own home with super fun classes like improv, script writing, audition techniques, and 2 brand new shows specifically designed for online performances. No borders, no experience necessary, and no end to the fun. Call 661-799-2702 or visit us at canyontheater.org.
Aloha, friends! Go check out Honu Coffee, home of the best cold brew coffee. What makes their coffee special is how their organic coffee beans are infused with nitrogen to create a smooth and delicious cup of coffee. You'll also find traditional bold coffees and island-inspired signature drinks. They're the perfect place to catch up with friends or just relax with your favorite cup of joe. Honu Coffee on Lyons and Walnut in Newhall. Stop by and say aloha.
And now for your convenience, a second Honu location at 23502 Lyons Avenue between Peachland and Apple.
Introducing Oakmont of Valencia, Oakmont's second luxury senior living community in Santa Clarita. At Oakmont of Valencia, you'll have access to full-time assisted living services provided by compassionate staff in the privacy of your own home. Oakmont's Diabetic Wellness Program offers assistance with monitoring and managing glucose levels, meals, exercise, and activities. Oakmont of Valencia offers a fully equipped wellness center and concierge medicine program, allowing outside physicians to visit on site. Discover the care your loved one deserves in a resort-style setting. Visit oakmontofvalencia.com.
When a person is diagnosed with a life-limiting illness, the patient and family may become overwhelmed with planning, emotions, questions, and fear. The Traditions Health Hour provides information and guidance to help them navigate through their end-of-life journey. Their goal is to help patients have the best quality of life possible while receiving the care they need in the place they want to be, home. Get your questions answered during the Traditions Health Hour Wednesdays at noon right here on KHTS and live on Facebook at KHTS Radio.
Save water and save money. SCV Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
The city is opening up, and so is Coyote Creek Locations, right here in Santa Clarita Valley, ranch-style open landscape for you to create your next perfect event. Weddings, graduation parties, bar and bat mitzvahs, baby showers, and birthdays. Any sort of get-together where you can spread your wings and breathe in fresh air, creating memories with friends and family while supporting healthy space and distancing. Spring is here, and summer is coming, so get ready for your next celebration at Coyote Creek. Book now at coyotecreeklocations.com. That's coyotecreeklocations.com.
When you hire a CPA firm or tax preparer, you want a firm with people who understand you, your business and industry, and participates in your local community. You need a firm that has long-standing, successful professional relationships around Southern California with attorneys, bankers, and other CPA firms who can provide additional help to your personal and business needs. Denny & Company, LLP. CPAs that make life less taxing. Call 286-8860, 286-8860.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking now with an artist, Debra Aschheim, and tell us what your role is in this place project.
So I'm going to be giving some visual art components to the artwork, but really my work is like partly creating drawings and sculptures and installations and video and social media projects, but a lot of it is community engagement. So, oh, is it? Am I okay?
There you go.
So in addition to making drawings, and like I'll probably make some portraits of people that are.
Put your headphones on.
Oh, okay.
Because we'll be talking to Jean now.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
In addition to making portraits of some of the participants in the project, I'm also going to do some research in archives and excavate historical photos, and I can use drawing to create, to illustrate some of the narratives and stories that people are telling. But in my work, a lot of the times, I foreground community engagement. It's as much of an important part to my work as the things that I make. So I came to this project. I'd like to give a shout out to Pamela Bailey Lewis, who runs the art gallery at College of the Canyons. And I was the artist in residence creative strategist was my title for LA County Registrar Recorder County Clerk, which was a program that was a partnership between various county departments and LA County Department of Arts and Culture, funded under the Board of Supervisors Equity and Inclusion Initiative. So for 2019 to 2020, I had the job of using art strategies to try to engage historically underrepresented communities of voters across the county. That's how I met Patti. So College of the Canyons was a vote center. And I was working with 4 Cal States and 6 community colleges on a pilot program to get arts and communication students involved in getting out the vote on campus. So that's how I came to the project, and I did a project which we had a website that just got hacked, but you can see it on Instagram.
Oh, you're kidding
no.
me.
Yeah, it's because anything to do with voting, there's these trolls that hack it. But if you go to
Yes.
Instagram, if you go to @365 Days of Voters, all one word, you'll see 757 portraits that I drew of different voters that I met in person. And then once COVID came on, people started sending me headshots on their stories. But it's 757 people in LA County. But then when it went to social media, it spread to the whole country, giving their reasons for voting and trying to encourage other people, from their communities to vote. And it became like we were trying to use peer-to-peer messaging to get out the vote. So I'm very interested in using art as a force for social justice and for civic engagement. And I was very aligned with Patti, who I actually met through Pamela at the mock election, because we had a mock election for the new vote system that LA County rolled out in September of 2019. And then College of the Canyons was a vote center. And so if COVID hadn't hit, I would have taken this project countywide, and I would have been working with all the community colleges and all the Cal States to get student to students to be like the ambassadors of communications to get everybody to vote. So this is like right up my alley, because I really am interested in, like, in my works, in some ways, making a drawing of somebody is just a way to get to know them much more deeply. I really hope that if people take a look at some of the drawings there or on my website, which is Debra Aschheim, DebraAschheim, and I've done projects for public transit. I'm mostly a public artist. I do permanent things for buildings, but anyone who wants to participate in this project has the option to have me make a portrait of them, and they get a free print of the drawing. And so the drawings will be in civic buildings and on campus, and there'll be an exhibition in the gallery, and you'll get to see all of the people who participated. And I love that it's intergenerational.
That's interesting, because you can tell a lot from a person's face. You really can.
Yeah.
Before they even open their mouth, you can really tell a lot. The type of personality, whether they're happy or unhappy, or it's just so much that you can tell from looking at a picture of someone.
And I can
You
bring
really
things
can.
to life from their story. So let's say they're telling me about the ways that Santa Clarita has changed, or a house that they used to live in, or where they went to elementary school. I can research those things, and I can draw them, and I can fold them into the project so that it becomes this kind of, I think of them as collective memory projects, or kind of illustrated vernacular histories.
Cool.
Illustrated.
So Debbie, this is Gene Dorio online on the telephone. And, I wanted to know whether also, in terms of what you're going to do, will you be utilizing, when you're talking, especially with seniors, they always have their memories and their descriptions, but they also have the photos of their life and where they've been and, where they hope to go. And, some of that, can be depicted in art, but, some of it also can come from their photos as well. And utilized in this whole interaction that you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Jessica and Patti and I were just talking about that when we had a meeting before coming to this program, and we were talking about how that would be so great to scan people's photos and then have me make drawings from those. And I mean, so my work in general is usually about like memory, place, and community. So yeah, that's exactly you're thinking along the exact same lines as we've been thinking.
Cool.
And there's also a part that I like where I think that people respond to drawings a little bit differently than just photographs. There's a way that, there's editorial decisions I can make in a photograph. I can decide what story I want to tell, even though the photograph itself that I'm working from might be, have a lot of information in it. I can create focus, but also there's something like that makes it a human to human engagement when it's filtered through my sensibility and my hand, that I'm hoping will give a warmth and a connection to the project.
Can you also do collages? Have you thought about doing that?
What do you mean exactly?
If you're working on painting a picture or sketching, can you get a collage of that person's history when they were a little girl, or when they were growing up, or like I was when I grew up during the war. I've got pictures of bomb shelters behind me, things like that. And then as that person gets older and going through some of those things, put a picture of them at that time. Had you thought about that?
Sure, conceivably. So the way that I work, I'm sort of a little bit like a journalist or historian, except for I have a different agenda. Like I'm very interested in including multiple voices, even stories that contradict each other, or approaching the same thing from different points of view. But I try to start out without an agenda and then follow wherever the participants lead me. So if they want, so usually it's less that I'm digging for something, that somebody will say, I want to show you this. And one thing that we were talking about when we were discussing what we might want to talk about today was I love looking for like the child or the young person in the person who might be 70 now and trying to show them. And one of my favorite things that anybody said to me from 365 Days of Voters was a woman who works for League of Women Voters in Pasadena, and she said, you draw me the way I look in my head, not what I see when I look in the mirror. And so I'm kind of hoping to connect you up with all the phases of the person's life. And that's what I love about intergenerational, because the young people are going to be old, the old people were young. It's a stage that's temporary that we pass through. So there's a way that in drawing I talk about it a lot in terms of time travel. I can create a feeling of time travel, looking at all of these things as kind of always going on and being connected to the place where we are.
How interesting.
But and so Debbie, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
I hope so.
It definitely is. And too often I have read stories and they might be 100 pages long, but then I see a picture and boom, it just catapults everything into my brain like those 100 pages did. So it's so worthy to have this aspect of depicting history. And that's essentially what we're trying to do in this conversation, that with our older adults and this intergenerational goals that we have with the project that you're doing. So, to keep up the good work. This is astounding that, you are playing a role in this and how that role is going to be. I think it's going to be so worthy for all of us to eventually see when you put it together.
Well, and I'll tell you, and for me, one of the things that's important to me about art is that it can, it's important to me that my artwork supports my role as an advocate for civic engagement and social justice. So, for example, right now I'm working with a group called Say Their Names LA, and it's families who've been affected by law enforcement violence, and we have a small amount of funding from the Department of Mental Health to create some zines, like small publications that are alternatives to 911, because everybody agrees that if somebody's having a mental health crisis, there might be better ways to get help to them than sending armed response. And so the artwork is going to be the beautiful part, and the stories hopefully are moving, but it's also a resource so that hopefully people will have the hotlines and the information, the phone numbers to call for suicide prevention, or for getting somebody to come in and bring help to somebody who's in a crisis, instead of only thinking 911 is what they can call. And so I really love the part of this project too that's going to address important social issues, hopefully give it a human face, make it relatable, and get people to care about some of the things in our society that we all agree we need to be working on.
Now, will there be a sort of a telephone contact for you through this project?
Anybody who wants to can direct message me through @365 Days of Voters, or you can go to my website, which hopefully, if you guys have a way to put it online, people can send me an email through my website, or they can get in touch with me through the Place project.
And does that have a telephone number?
I don't know if it has a telephone number. I'm not really comfortable giving my telephone number.
No, not yours, but I'm talking about the project telephone number.
We can get it from them. I'm sure there's I'm sure there's a university phone number.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Sure.
Because that would be the logical number to call to get hold of you or Patti.
Yeah, I totally welcome that. And then if people do have email, they're welcome to just send me an email at info@debraaschheim.com, which is hard to spell, so it might be easier to just find the website and then hit contact. And I answer all emails within 2 days maximum.
Yeah, wow. So what got you involved in this project?
I'm going to give a shout out to Pam Bailey Lewis at the gallery. She's the best.
Okay, she's the one.
Yeah,
who
but
got
I
you
think that
interested.
we just really wanted to work together. So I was working really hard from 2019 to 2020, wanting to bring College of the Canyons into my voter education and outreach project. And Patti, and so Patti and I just connected over that issue in particular. And then it turned out that we were just aligned with so many more issues. And I came to some Zoom meetings of the Place project. I found out a professor at Elon University is a boy that I used to babysit for when I was a teenager,
Oh
which
my
was very
goodness.
funny. Everybody
What a
likes
small
that story.
world, you know?
Incredibly.
It really is. You just never know. You really don't.
It was so cool because they were doing all the same kind of things that we were trying to do here, and so I love feeling like there's this national network. So it was just a treat to get invited by them to be part of this project and to get to, and for someone whose work is about memory and place, this is just catnip for me to be part of this.
Well, and it utilizes your talent also in a very, very major way.
And I think before the pandemic, I probably thought of like the visual things that I made and the community engagement as being equally important, or I might have thought of the community engagement as research for the art projects. But in this year of isolation, I've come to value the interactive part with people. The number one thing I've missed is just getting to know all kinds of people with different and hearing their stories and
I know, and meeting with them,
Yeah.
shaking hands, hugging them. That's the thing that I've missed, the physical contact.
And and my undergraduate background was in anthropology. So in some ways, I think as an artist, I do the work that I wished anthropologists did, which was learning about people, sharing their stories, finding out what their issues are, amplifying their message, trying to help other people have awareness and care about other people's lives. Like all of those are the tools that I want to use. And I want to give people a platform for many voices, particularly voices that aren't always heard, whether that's people experiencing homelessness or seniors, but to share these stories out with people that you might not have met, but maybe you meet them through an artwork that I'm part of.
Yeah, and because history is so important.
It is, and it's
critical.
And it's not about the past. It's about now, and it's about how we imagine the future. That's the most main thing I think about it.
That's right. I mean, you can look at the past and think, ooh, I hope I don't live through that again.
Right.
And work toward doing something about it, which is, that's perfect for the Place project.
I think so, yeah, absolutely.
It really is. Don't you think so, Gene?
Oh, absolutely. I think your role in this is going to be exciting. And I think we're always living in history right now. As we've gone through the pandemic, people will talk about the isolation and the problems that we faced and how we've adapted for the next 100 years, maybe. I think it's important we realize that maybe science will eliminate some of these pandemics, but this is history that we just lived through, and a lot of that is, we've depicted in our conversations, our writings, our photos, but now it's also it's always been in our art, and that's exactly what you're doing, Debbie. That you're bringing a different aspect of how we perceive history and how it's going to be perceived in the future. So what you're doing in this project is, to me, wonderful. And it just puts a different twist and a different look as to how we will look back in 10 years and 20 years at what we're doing right now. So thank you very much for your role in this. This is incredible work that you are doing right now. Thank you.
Yes, and we need to take a break. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
When you look at your child, you see so much. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. A little leader growing to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make the world better. At SCVI, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free TK through 12 charter school provides boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a learning program customized just for your child. Today, that means empowering your child to bring strengths and passions to the distance learning environment. Our approach keeps your child and family in step while online, inspiring your learner to keep growing without missing a beat. At SCVI, your child will find even more ways to grow with projects and activities in STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. With the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, SCVI produces graduates who excel at top universities and in life. For enrollment information or to learn more about our distance learning program, visit ileadsantaclarita.org. iLead Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
Great healthcare just got easier and more convenient in Canyon Country. Facey Canyon Country is now open directly off the Soledad Canyon exit off the 14 freeway. The 37,000 square foot clinic houses Facey Medical Group primary care physicians, pediatricians, and specialists. Facey has easy 24/7 online appointment scheduling for PCPs and PEDS. For more information or to make an appointment, visit facey.com. That's FACEY.com.
If you're in danger of losing your home to foreclosure, you need an expert. Hi, I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty. I've helped hundreds of Santa Clarita residents save their homes completely for free. I've got just over 20 years experience and a loan modification success rate of over 80%. I can negotiate better terms with your bank and I can save your home from foreclosure. And again, we do this completely for free. So if you're in any danger, please call me today at 661-714-1400. That number again is 661-714-1400. I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty, and I'll be happy to help you save your home for free.
Experience luxury senior living at Oakmont of Valencia, Oakmont's brand new community in Santa Clarita. At Oakmont of Valencia, residents will enjoy 5-star amenities, including state-of-the-art movie theaters, spacious custom-built apartment homes, and sweeping views of the valley, all in close proximity to shopping, restaurants, and medical centers. Enjoy resort-style living, professional concierge services, a luxurious salon and day spa, and world-class dining. At Oakmont of Valencia, you'll embrace retirement in style. Enjoy impeccable service and unending possibilities with Oakmont. For details, visit oakmontofvalencia.com.
When a person is diagnosed with a life-limiting illness, the patient and family may become overwhelmed with planning, emotions, questions, and fear. The Traditions Health Hour provides information and guidance to help them navigate through their end-of-life journey. Their goal is to help patients have the best quality of life possible while receiving the care they need in the place they want to be, home. Get your questions answered during the Traditions Health Hour, Wednesdays at noon, right here on KHTS, and live on Facebook at KHTS Radio. Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
If you're in need of physical therapy, check out Focus Physical Therapy. Owner and therapist Adam Laraway has the latest in cutting-edge technology, introducing the Newbie, the ultimate in neuromuscular re-education. The Newbie can help you heal up to 70% faster and was FDA cleared in September 2017. The Newbie uses pulse direct current, which mimics the same neurological signals the brain uses and allows the therapist to identify those signals with 100% accuracy. Newbie can even help improve your sleep while tackling issues with neck, knee, and shoulder pain, sciatica, and arthritis. It can accelerate your fitness progress, which means better results in less sessions. Get stronger quicker. Why not use the same technology that the Dodgers and the LA Clippers use? Focus PT, located on Peachland off Lyons in Newhall. Call 255-4205. Go online at focusphysicaltherapyscv.com.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with two students who are involved in the PLACE project that Patti and Jessica and Debra have been talking about. And we want to get your names and your involvement and why you got involved. And give us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, Barbara. I'm Helena Oda, and I'm with my fellow student.
Hi, and my name is Alyssa Della Rosa.
And yeah, we're excited to be here today. Helena, did you want to talk about how you got interested in the Place project and your involvement first?
Sure. So I guess I'll start. I kind of want to piggyback off of what Patti and Jessica have said so
Fine.
far about the dialogues. That's kind of how I kind of got into it in the beginning. I was a student at College of the Canyons, and it was suggested that I be part of the project, and I was like, okay, let me see what this is about. And one of the things that was really interesting, it was this concept about intergenerational dialogues. And so while talking with Jessica and Patti, they decided to host one, and it was one of the most fascinating conversations of my life, just because it was the idea that you can talk to people of different generations that have lived within this Santa Clarita Valley and get to understand how it's changed, the dynamics, the culture, and by doing that, really get a better understanding of how we're applying what we know and engaging within the community and understanding how that comes into context. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and as for myself, I've been involved with Place for about over a year now. I'm actually graduated from College of the Canyons. I graduated last spring. I'm now a junior at the University of Southern California studying psychology, and I'm still involved in this project. And
Wow.
that's how much I believe in it and how passionate I am about it. And I'll sort of go back here and explain some of the history. So at college, during my time at College of the Canyons, I really just wanted to be involved on campus as much as I could. I was a student leader in several clubs. And so I quite literally stumbled across this accidentally. It was a accident. It was actually the day of the tick fire that totally shook our valley, shook Canyon Country. And I lived in one of the neighborhoods, Stonecrest, where several homes were devastated. And that day they cut our power. So I had no other option but to drive to the Valencia campus and do my homework for the day, since I didn't have any power at my house. And then on my way home, I ran into my friend on campus, and he invited me to one of the first Place meetings. He was like, yeah, like we're still in the very early stages of this project. It's new, and you should come along to the meeting. And so that was great. I immediately felt welcomed. I was able to talk to Patti, talk to Jessica, and then that's when the evacuation hit, and then chaos just sort of ensued afterwards. So the meeting had to get cut short. But yeah, even after that day, I kept coming back. And then in the spring, because this was in the fall, right, tick fire. So in the spring, which would be my last semester at College of the Canyons, Patti asked me if I would like to be a student fellow for the California campus Compact project. And so, of course, I accepted. I said, yes, thank you. This is such an incredible opportunity. And so what I did as a fellow is I was tasked with an independent project. And so since at the time with Place, we were looking at housing and security in the Santa Clarita Valley, I thought, okay, I'm going to take this more specific. I'm going to look at housing and financial insecurity within students at COC. So what I did is I had several conversations with my fellow students at COC, and that's when I realized that there was sort of a disconnect between the amazing resources that COC has to offer and students getting access to those resources, students being aware of those resources, and a lot of students just, there's a lot of stigma that we're trying to fight as #StigmaFighters. But I actually have a badge that says #StigmaFighters, courtesy of the amazing Health and Wellness Center at College of the Canyons, yes. So there's just a lot of barriers for students accessing these resources. And I had a friend that owed $900 in financial aid, and for whatever reason, financial aid wasn't letting up. And I said, okay, you know what? Let me go down and talk to financial aid. This just doesn't sound right. And so I was able to clear it up. And that's when I realized, hey, you know what? I think we need a program that sort of goes deeper here, goes above and beyond here, and just really advocates for the needs of students. It's really individualized. And that's where I came up with the Student Advocate Program. I wrote a proposal for it. I submitted it to ASG the day that our campus closed due to COVID. And then some students picked it up this year during the fall, and I was able to get back involved with it again. So we've been meeting regularly. Lauren Doan and Ebony, they are incredible, amazing students. So we've been meeting weekly, and we have everything set. We have our application, we have our interview. It's just going to be a cohort of 10 to 15 amazing student leaders at College of the Canyons or at other schools. And again, they're just going to go above and beyond. They're going to make sure that students' needs are being met, even if they have to go down to the specific department and advocate for the student on their behalf, etc. And then we're also meeting with the peer outreach program director this week, just to make sure, you know, we're not overlapping, etc., and just sort of get that finalized. So I'm really, really excited for this project.
That sounds amazing. Plus, you're getting students involved. Mm-hmm. That's the critical thing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes students are a little leery or a little fearful of getting involved, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I know I've lived in this valley since 1968, before the 14 freeway was even thought about. I used to ride motorcycles up there where the where the freeway is now. My boys and I would get up on their motorcycles. Come on, Mom, you can make it. And I'd get up on that hill, and I did it. But that was before the 14 freeway was even put in. Wow. It was nothing but big hills at the end of the street where I lived. And so this community has grown tremendously. I wouldn't want to live any other place. I absolutely wouldn't. It's an incredible community, and people volunteer and keep each other involved and help each other. It's been amazing. There have been so many people who have helped me when I've gone through my rough patches, and I've had many, you know, since I've been here. But I've had people in the community who have helped me survive. Dr. Dorio's one of them. Right, Doc?
Well, we try, but ladies, you know, I just, you know, want to know that, you know, we've kind of just touched the surface here of your involvement. And, you know, I certainly would like to have you guys back on the show. I mean, your enthusiasm is coming through the microphone. And I think that it's important that the older adults that are listening to our show understand that we want to be intergenerational. We want to have history that flows, because as I always thought I'm a kid now, but I'll be older. And that brought my empathies toward older adults right away in life. And you guys are, you know, it took me a while to get there, but ladies, you are there already. And I'm very proud of what both of you are doing in the PLACE project. But there was a phone number, Barbara, that you had as well.
Yes.
That I think there was contact. Could you just give that to our audience in case before we sign off?
Yes, they can contact Patti Robertson at College of the Canyons, and it's 661-362-3992, and or they can reach her through her email address, which is patti.robinson@canyons.edu.
Great.
Okay.
You know, Helena, Oda, Allison De La Rosa. Thank
Alyssa
you
De La
guys for
Rosa.
being on the show. We got to get you back on the show. We we need to talk about this more so our seniors understand and know where we can all go with this.
That'd be great.
We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care, Santa Clarita Hearing Center, Traditions Home and Hospice Care. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance